everybody, and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. We are on one of my becoming a favorite maps here, Gasbag Grabens. And we have Sashkorin versus Snail Kick, otherwise known as Ubivator. Ubivator been one of the highest ranked players in 1v1 duels for quite a while. Recently changing their name to Snail Kick, so I guess we'll call them Snail for now, and they want to be called Ubivator again. I guess they'll change their name back to Ubivator. But both players choosing to start in this position here that gives them access to the 2 geos here. It does put them also in the closest position to get to the high ground up here quicker, and gives them relatively good access to metal extractors. You would kind of think it might be more advantageous to start here with a 4 and a 4 close to you to spread out to, because this 4 in the bottom is going to take a while for you to get to. But in actuality, the geos make up for that quite a bit, and you're actually able to build a contour up here. Is it maybe that spot or somewhere else? But maybe here. But basically, you can build a contour on one of these positions that's able to reach the geo there and like your base over here. I did find out the other day though that this is a little bit of a sneaky path through. You can actually run pawns up there and get round the back of someone's base that you wouldn't be expecting. So we'll see how that plays out. Difference in start straight off the bat here, as we have Snail going ticks into cons into pawns. On the opposite side, we just have scouts coming out from Sash. Sash winning both games against Randy on the channel recently, so we'll see how they do versus Snail / Ubivator today. Now, early on, generally ticks have a bit of an advantage when it comes to vehicle scouts, just due to their maneuverability and turret turn speed, but Snail won't be able to get any value from these ticks because he clearly does not know about the sneaky path. Although it does look like these can't path. So I think it must be like here that they can move up, see, like that. Or maybe in that gap. And this is F2 for the transversability map, by the way. And as we select the pawn and check this out, just to be sure, yeah, you can see that there's still a path there that they could actually move up and there. And I think is not intended. So take that with a pinch of salt. It may work for now, but it might not work for long. If you want to play this map against your friends and use that knowledge to your advantage, use it where you can. Just don't tell them it's my fault that you know. I don't want people coming into the comments and going, "How dare you tell my friends these secret techniques that I wasn't aware of?" Sash being really ballsy here with not putting anything to defend these 4 metal extractors. We quite often see someone build like a laser tower here to defend this ramp, but no, nothing. We do see that Snail is planning to build an LLT to defend there. When it comes to expansion, Snail is ahead. And we do see we missed it, but I self-destruct of that metal extractor managed to catch the ticks that were roaming around. Pawns managed to get an incisor, and the incisors managed to run away in time. These ticks here will not be quick enough in order to get the con, but will delay the expansion a little bit for Sash. Surprisingly though, no plans to go to the high ground for either player here. Seems that Snail's plan is to just build LLTs maybe and block off this path so that his con in the background can heal safely. A little bit of mistake there with Micro here with the res bots. Because of all this stuff around the edge, they're trying to resurrect it, and obviously they can't. Maybe that's something that might want to be considered removing, because if stuff's going to try and path round to the edge there to pick that up, and they're not able to. I mean, I guess air could, but still. A bit of a mistake, I would say, on the design. The players being relatively cautious right now. Technically, it's very close as to who has expanded more right now. Snail doing a decent job of blocking off his paths. There is a LLT there ready to defend, as well as the com in a very good position in the middle. There is a big gap down here though where he hasn't managed to block off. Whether Sash is aware of that or not is a different story. There is no radar that far forward yet, so he's not quite sure. Finally getting up to the high ground though. Snail building a bunch of LLTs. Now, you could ask, well, why has he not built LLTs right on the edge there? Well, technically, the range of this, although it looks like a circle, is actually a sphere. And so what that means is that if you build them right on the edge of the high ground, in theory, they don't have as much range as you think they do if something's on a lower ground. So although some instances for like plasma and stuff like that, it might be better, you kind of want to maybe have them a little further back, just enough so that they don't get their heads, like, should be able to still shoot down, but then not get hit by stuff shooting directly at them. You know what I mean? Because obviously LLTs are firing from this top kind of position, right? So if they're firing from the top position, as long as that's kind of peeking over something, it would be relatively safe. Now, these pawns kind of caught out of position here. There is a Centurion in the mix, but a lot of units getting caught out. As we quickly check back on the bases, we can see that Snail is getting pawn, tick, 5 maces, 3 pawns, Centurion, Resbot, and then a mix of other stuff. The attempted assault here by Snail on the bottom does not pan out. Snail makes a good push with the com, getting a D-gun off on that forward LLT. The Sash going for a very, very forward factory up on that high ground. And the Centurion is dealt with effectively, and this is going to apply some pressure to this top side. Surprisingly not going for like rocket bots. They should be able to deal with these turrets that are up here very effectively. But I'm guessing his thought process is that he's not going to be on these owned up there for much longer. Meanwhile, a continuation of vehicles from Sash, now going into Pounders and Brutes. Not enough units down here to really deal with that, but the thugs already making their move along the top, making very short work of the LLTs. Pawns also pushing these incisors off very quickly, as he attempts to make a bit of a mark in the middle. Maces on their way up to try and counter Sash's aggression up here, but realistically, with the factory here, it's going to be difficult for Snail to make much of a dent, and losing that high ground so close to your base is quite a big problem. And Snail is losing ground consistently now. Losing control of the bottom side. He has gone to gunships, which is an interesting choice. This is a sizable chunk of maces here now. Try not to give in that the gunships have arrived, but it seems like rather than going for a commander snipe of any type, he's deciding to use these to try and snipe some economy. At this stage, the game kind of makes sense. There's not much in the way of air defense being put up, and they will get those metal extractors down pretty quickly here. He just kind of needs to keep moving with them rather than keeping them stationary. We can see how these ones deal with this expansion pretty quickly, and that's going to shut down the economy production of Sashkorin pretty quickly. As these maces crest their hill, met with so many LLTs, he decides he needs to run back. Fighters have been pushed out though from Sash to deal with these gunships. Did he get enough value from them in time though? That's the question. He has taken out most of the metal spots that Sashkorin had. And I would argue that they've got their value. Managing to take out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 metal extractors. And now, with that time, Snail transitioning over to Tech 2. Just biding his time. It's going to take a little while for Sash to rebuild. Problem is, maybe not as long as he'd hoped. As Sash with this high ground position here does have some decent range. And it is stopping him getting the Geo. But with Tech 2 out already here. The question is how long is Snail going to keep it hidden for? Red spots are behind, ready to eat up all of the wrecks from this fight, but the most important fight here takes place along the top. Tech 2 now been spotted by Sashkorin. These tumbleweeds did try to do something. Have they removed? I was going to say, they removed the rolling animation? No, because that one is rolling. It's just some of these were apparently bug. There you go, now they're all rolling. The EMP bot will do the job. And the hounds with that extra range, giving them just what they need in order to fight back against these maces, thugs, sorry, on the high ground. But map control wise, it is currently advantage Sash. Sash has also rushed out a Tech 2 factory, but he has been continuing production on this factory along the top. Tumbleweeds do attempt to get in, don't manage to get any value whatsoever, and Hound here almost dead. Meanwhile, the pressure along the bottom is not really anything to worry about anymore. It seems most of the maces have been sent south to counter these brutes. Well, I'd say not enough hounds really yet to deal with the quantity of thugs. EMP bot, if it does get a good EMP here, could really help Snail. Going for it, managing to catch 3, not quite as many as he was hoping. It is enough to push Sash back though. space now made. Freedom returned to Snail. The hounds will do a good job at cleaning up these LLTs with the scouts here. The cloaky bots providing the vision required to make this kind of move. And really, really, Tech 2 is needed on the front lines drastically by Sash. It does seem like this topside factory has already been eaten up. Kind of surprising he's not also eating the con turrets, but maybe hoping to get as much value as he can. Azar is slowly creeping forward along this bottom side. So I will make very short work of this blob here of maces. And some mistakes as well by Snail here, making him lose yet another welder to pretty much no reason whatsoever. And there we go. Zart getting huge value already up on this high ground in that extra bit of range. I'm not even sure a single ghost will be able to EMP Azar. I might need two. But for Snail right now, it's just a matter of eco. Snail's going to try and eco up as much as physically possible, getting as many Tech 2 metal extractors as he can. You can see currently on 7, as opposed to 5. Technically only 3 of those are actually built. Bypassing the Tsar, it seems, along the bottom. Trying to make a bit of a push, but there's so many LLTs there, they're not really going to do much. Meanwhile, in the middle, these very, very small quantity of hounds trying to do something, but not really able to contest these Tsars. Tumbleweeds versus them as well. Not really going to do much either. And Snail could really do with some units right about now. These small task force combined with Zars doing a pretty good job. And yes, it did require 2 in order to EMP a Zar. EMPs though still doing a pretty valuable job here. Almost getting the Tsar 90% EMP, but that big mistake loses a lot of hounds. This has forced a transition over to sniper bots though, as we see in this middle corridor here by Snail. At least a couple of snipers. What are we looking at now? So looking on the build queue, we have butlers, T2 con, hound, snipers, EMP bots, radar, snipers, and no kind of front line, which is what I'm surprised about. Whereas on the opposite side, we see just banishers mainly. Oh, that's an expensive loss. That's also an expensive loss. Tsar managing to take out 2 snipers in 2 shots there, and a butler also about to die. Some misclicks here. Yeah, another butler. Does he have factory guard off? Yes, he has factory guard off. So therefore, all the butlers are just instantly running out. Don't know if that was really worth the use. He has nothing. Oh, he has tumbleweeds coming in. Okay. Still not able to do anything. And Snail in a very precarious situation here. Sash able to deal with everything that Snail is throwing at him. It's just a matter of time for both teams to kind of just build up forces enough to make a bit of a move here. I would be interested to see if anyone plans to do a bombing run. All it would require really is the death of this advanced Geo here to make a big enough impact to kind of kill an entire base. Also, one problem with the Banishers here is just send in a scout or something, and that will do enough damage. A lot of EMP bots though. Ah, perimeters. Perimeter cameras, you very, very, very rarely see them built. No anti-nuke from either player at this point, approaching the 20-minute mark. Both of them also building the side advanced Geo now. It's kind of surprising they didn't build it sooner. How was he able to see that? Ground fired. They have a counter intrusion. Trying to find it and I'm not seeing it. I am not sure how Sash is seeing those at all. Which that one was obvious. That one was the cloak. Now starting to lose ground along the top here. Does seem like Snail doesn't really have anything he can do about this. These welders are not really going to do much versus this huge army up here. Now watch it get absolutely destroyed. Half of the army already dead in essence before the fight even began. Was trying to run stuff up here, but managed to break through way before he was ready. EMPs will delay it a little bit. Needing to just desperately try and field for the sniper bots to do their work. But most of the damage has been done by these Banishers. Which we see Sashkorin is desperately trying to run down now. Not enough forces really fielding for these sniper bots. The desperate fallback has already begun. Pulsar is attempting to be built here. And how Sash hasn't seen that. Wow. Oh, Tech 2 air on its way in. Banishers, though, do shoot down air, so he has to prioritize them. And also, the problem is the sheer quantity of fighters already built. How long will these gunships last? Damage spread out across multiple Banishers. Pulsar does get finished, but manages to get a Tsar. Does have range of this Persecutor, but does that not have vision of it? No. Oh, what a disappointment. This pulsar is just going to slowly die to a pop-up artillery. What a shame. See, what he could have done right there is he could have buried it and put it into hunker down mode, and that would have made it a lot tankier. Now, looking in the bases, we do have anti-nuke finally up, and intrusion countermeasure is really far back. There is one now positioned here for the front line. And Tech 3 being built by Sashkorin. Both players just producing a vast quantity of air, but Snails is the Tech 2 variant. And numbers-wise, both players fairly even. Metal produced is about an 8k difference. When it comes to quantity, though, energy produced is higher, and current metal stacking is currently higher for Snail, but keeps building these pulsars within range of this artillery. Not going to work out for him. Ballsiness of not cloaking these sniper bots as well. Range on that artillery on that high ground is not to be joked about. Kind of surprised we're not seeing like a long range plasma cannon up here or something. That would be able to pretty much target the entire base. Oh, but look at the sheer quantity of Tech 1 bombers. This may end up being the play that wins the game. 25 of them so far. He's going for 30 probably by the looks of things. Yep, here they go. By everything around that Geo. At the same time, the Tech 3 attempts to go in and gets mostly EMP'd. Well, those bombers on a fight. The bombers are on fight rather than on attack. And a large quantity of them are already dead, but it doesn't matter. As they reach their mark, leaving a huge explosion. And no base left for Snail. He did deal with the Tech 3 that was approaching him, but sniper bots now no longer to really fire effectively with the lack of energy production. He does have a fusion and another advanced Geo still left, but not for much longer, as that bomb might get it. 0% health, 9 health. Single sneeze on that will kill it. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen... Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen something such a low health and yet survive. Question is Snail going to call it now? He is fighting a continuously losing battle. I don't know if there's much he can really do here. Snipers are trying their best to deal with all the stuff that comes up, but losing ground after ground, fight after fight. Now only having the ability to really build a small amount of stuff. Yeah, just not able to kill this stuff quick enough. it looks like Sash's target is this very, very low health Geo, maybe. He also knows there's a fusion there if you select him. Yeah. He knows he's taken out most of his opponent's energy production, and it's not going to take much to kill that. There goes the fusion and the advanced Geo all in one hit. And now we see the sniper bots unable to fire with no energy. That will be game. And Sam calls GG. Well played, Sashkorin. Doing tremendous work, winning game after game after some of the toughest opponents in the 1v1 scene. Who knows, maybe our new #1 in duels at this rate. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you all next time.